Hi, welcome to the small shed. Today it's all about 4 candles. See you in a minute. Now, February, March is probably not the right time to be thinking about Christmas, but if you're a maker and you're making things for Christmas, it's the time to start and think about what you're going to be making and start and put aside bits of wood if you find them to suit certain projects. So I thought I'd have a look at something which came into our Menin Sheds a couple of months ago, I think now. A guy there produced it. He'd made one himself. I think it's come from a book. It's a fairly simple design, and it was something that I thought was quite attractive and a simple build. It's basically just a small candle holder that folds up for 4 candles, and I thought, given that it doesn't take up a lot of material and it's something simple, it might be something we could build as something to sell on craft fairs and things, and it doesn't have to apply to Christmas only. So I'll start off with the timber. I'm using this bit of tulip wood I've got. It was Princely Sum of 65p, and I've already cut one piece off it. I'd probably get about 5 or 6 of these out of it. It's about 75mm by 25 roughly. I'm just going to mark a section off about 150mm long. And then I'm going to divide it into 4 horizontally. Just mark those out, and you'll see when I get it finished now how it's going to work. And then I'm going to mark about 25mm along from one end. 25, 50, 75. And essentially now what I'm doing is connecting these lines up so that the first one goes up to the highest line, the next one goes down to the middle line, the next one goes to the bottom line. So essentially what we're going to do is drill a hole up through the end, but so it doesn't come out of the top. So we're drilling vertically down through there to about there. We're going to cut the lines so that that one is cut to there, that one is cut to there, that one is cut to there, and then we'll insert a dowel into there, maybe glue it, I don't know, we'll see how it goes, and then we'll cut those lines vertically up there, and that will give us something which will then fold open. You'll see it when I've done it, and we can drill the holes for the candles in it. It'll need a bit of cleaning up, so I shan't glue up the dowel until I've finally got it all together, but you'll see as we get going. So I'm just going to chop saw this down to the right length first, and then I'll bandsaw these horizontal lines in turn. Right, now I've cut through the 3 cuts there. Just going to mark now in the middle where the cuts lie. Mark in the middle of that, roughly centre point there, to put the dowel in. I've measured the dowel I'm going to use. It's about 8mm, so I'm going to drill an 8mm hole right the way down through about as far as that. Don't want it to come out the top. So all that's left to do now, I'm putting that dowel into there just to hold it together, and I'm just going to cut those 3 lines. And that now just needs the individual parts cleaning up, but essentially you can see now that what you've got is a series of pieces that when you tidy them up will unfold like that, and then we'll drill holes in there, and the candles will then fit into them one by one. I've got the right ones, 1, 2, 3, 4. So you can make them any size you want. You could make it 5 or 6 or 7 high. It depends on the thickness of the wood. The thicker your wood, the more difficult it is to get that folding to work, because you'll have to have a bigger cut there. I'm just going to clean these up on the belt sander, and I'll put a very slight radius on them as well. So that's got the 4 pieces. All I need to do now essentially is just mark again the centre at the other end of each of these pieces on the top, and we'll put in an 18mm force and a bit hole that should give us the candle holder part. Now I thought, just for a change, rather than my usual cellulose and wax finish, I thought I'd try a bit of Danish oil on these. Got some that's been lying around for a while. Should just bring the grain out nicely. But essentially you can see there's 6 cuts, 2 lots of drilling and a bit of sanding, and you end up with something that's quite decorative, probably quite saleable from Meninched's point of view, and essentially not taking up a lot of room or material. So it's well worth a consider for one of these things that we make earlier in the year to sell at Christmas. Use any wood, we can use any of the scraps we get of anything. It doesn't take a huge amount of wood up either. I think when I costed this up, the timber itself has probably cost about 20 pence. So there we have it. Fairly simple job, simple design, simple build. Just clips together, and then that just fans out, ready for your candles to go in. And you can size those holes to suit whatever candles you've got available. As I say, these were some that I cut down from some old Christmas ones, but they really want to be a slightly bigger candle or a slightly smaller hole at the moment, but it was proof of concept, and that seems to work anyway. Well, it's another little build over. Hopefully I can perfect the design a bit more and make it a slightly more elegant job, but looks like it's something that might be worth starting on so that we can get them in stock for Christmas. Look forward to seeing you next week when we'll do something different. Hope you enjoyed the video. Look forward to seeing you then. Bye.